Well, welcome back to Schilpario in the spectacular northern Italian Alps. It's a slightly greyer day than we've been used to so far this week. The sun struggling to break through onto these wonderful tracks here, where the junior athletes in the female under 20 category, in just over 5 minutes time, are going to get started. The grey skies, though, have done nothing to dampen the atmosphere in Italy, especially given that wonderful silver medal earlier on today from Italy's David Negroni. 2 silvers for Italy in the junior class this week, having already taken one of those silver medals on Monday at the start of the week. Gabriele Matley's second place then, giving the Italians a sense of purposefulness this week, and every race so far they have featured well inside the top 10, certainly in the young men's field.
Am văzut că l-a Leo foarte mult.
75 athletes starting today from 28 teams, including Romania, who we've just seen. Many of the bigger teams fielding 4 athletes, not the case for all nations. But it's good to see, nevertheless, 28 nations taking part. And many ski technicians busily working away today as we switch from the classic style that we've seen all week to the freestyle technique today for 10 kilometers, exactly the same course as we saw the junior men racing over earlier on today. Well, slightly higher humidity due to these low clouds, and the snow still just below freezing. We'll get a quick check of that in a second and confirm the temperatures out here. It's going to struggle to get, will certainly struggle to feel above zero today, the air temperature, but the snow will stay cold and should hold together nicely for today's race. Air temperature just creeping above the freezing mark. It won't feel that way, but -6 still for the snow, which is only 1 degree warmer than it was at the start of the men's race earlier on today. Tracks will start to get cut up a little as we have 102 starters from the men this morning and 73, is it? No, 75 starting for the women. So some of those corners will begin to get a little harder to negotiate, especially the fast right-hand bend that we've seen cause a lot of angst this week here in Schilpario. Well, of the 75 starters, 2 Norwegians certainly classed as the favourites, being chased hard by Alison Mackey of Canada. Hansen of Norway also getting a start today, 4th quickest to qualify on Monday earlier on in the week. She will inevitably therefore set a quick early time. One British athlete racing today, Elspeth Cruikshank from Huntley, the 17-year-old. She's in bib number 69, going off just ahead of Satana Moon of Australia. Julie Rees of Brazil. As we had with the men early on today, a Santos, I think it was, of Brazil going last. And today, Julia Rees having that honour in today's race. Here we go. So, less than 60 seconds to go before the start. 30-second intervals today in this 10-kilometre freestyle time trial. Second of the endurance races this week. Hannah Sowerby then of Norway in bib number 1 at the start gate and ready to go. Quickest time for the men this morning was around about 23 minutes. Hagen of Norway a good 26 seconds up on anyone else. Another gold medal to add to his 20k win on Wednesday, and the silver at the start of the week in the sprints. Hagen of Norway now has 3 Junior World Championships titles, having taken a medal a year ago in Planica. Sowerby has a silver medal to take away already this week, bib number 1. She was 4 places better on Wednesday than she was in the same race a year ago in Planica. Can she climb one more place and get her hands on that gold medal that Norway secured this morning in the men's field? So Hannah Sowerby then gets us started. 10 kilometres to go. The time will be around about 26 seconds, minutes I should say, for the women. Unless, of course, the snow has slowed down a little since this morning. Next to go will be Mila Andresen of Norway, this year's 20-kilometre champion. Focused, looks up the track at teammate Hannah Sowerby. Good mates before the race starts, but fierce competitors once the clock counts them down. Away she goes. She was 28 seconds quicker than Sowerby on Wednesday. Already has 3 Junior World Championship titles to her name. Watch out for Andresen. Next to go will be Canada's Alison Mackey. Comes from Edmonton, 3rd in the 20 on Wednesday. already an experienced World Cup racer, and we'll be looking forward to those World Championship races in Trondheim in 3 weeks from time. If she manages to get included, powerful sprint start from Alison Mäki of Canada. Next to go then will be from Finland, Sylvia Kempi. Kempi wearing bib number 4. Finnish junior champion in this event. Let's see how she can cope with Italian snow. 4th away for Finland. Next will be bib number 5. He's at the start gate now. It's Sam Smith of the USA. 19-year-old Sam. One of the entertainers in Planitza last year. A little off form this week, to be fair. Some question marks about her health or condition. 5th in the sprints on Monday, but way down in 14th on Wednesday. Can she bounce back? I think she's been looking forward to the freestyle races this week. Took a medal out in Planitza in the sprints last year. Of course, they were freestyle back then. Next is Beatrice Laurent of Italy. 7th on Monday. 5th in the 20 on Wednesday. Climbing 2 places. 2 more places today. We'll see her taking another medal for Italy if she can get into 3rd. But that is going to be a big ask for Beatrice Laurent of Italy. Next away will be the 2nd of the Finnish athletes. And we are just zipping forward to see Hanna Serby of Norway approaching 3 minutes. And some way to go. Of course, 7. Purnen of Finland, Olivia Purnen, 7th quickest in qualifying on Monday, 7th in the 20k on Wednesday, and starts today, bib number 7. Let's hope she can get 6th or better today, and that would be an improvement. Andreasen goes ahead of Serby, a decent little margin as well. Going off in bib number 8, Margot Trilloy of France, 19-year-old, comes from La Cluse, 8th place, sorry, in the 20, 2 days ago. The best of the French juniors this week. This is good from Canada's Alison Mäki, 2.7 up on bib number 2, Andreasen. So of the 3 to pass at this point, she's nearly 3 seconds quicker than both of them. So a helpful start and helpful information being fed back to Alison as she heads up the longest of those hills. Christine Hansen then in bib number 10 of Norway.
2.7 seconds better than Andreasen.
4th quickest to qualify on Monday. Made the final, but ended up in 6th place after having had a fall, some 14 seconds down on 5th. So we'll be frustrated by that, and probably a medalist potential in the sprints, but that fall took her out. Here's Sam coming now. Let's see what sort of time she is on. This is good from Sam Smith of the USA. Goes ahead of fellow North American from Canada, Alison Mäki. Pushes her down into 2nd, nearly 2.5 seconds up. The split time so important to especially these the first 20 or so in this field, who in theory at least any one of those could take a win or a podium place today. Beatrice Laurent of Italy, not going to match any of the quickest times, I don't think, through the 1.67 kilometer time check. She may prove me wrong, of course she is. Just ahead of Kempi, Sylvia Kempi of Finland. Clara Hegan now of Canada. Best result this week was 17th in the 20 kilometers. Here's Mia Andreasen. Already 1 gold medal from these games. Schilpario. The bib number 7. Anything better than 7th today would be an improvement on her performances this week. Alison Mackie now, she's sensing an element of success already. Andreasen, is the gap less than 30 seconds? Well, we know it was at the last split point. It was about 2.5 seconds shorter than 30 seconds. Alison Mackie of Canada. She may have heard by now that Sam Smith has just shaved off 1 or 2 seconds the earlier checkpoint. And look at Sam Smith now. She's in bib number 5 and she's already made up almost a full 30 seconds on Silva Kempi of Finland, the Finnish junior champion. So Sam pushing the pace very hard earlier on. Will have set a pace that she feels she can cope with, but given her results this week, we're just going to have to wait and see. Anton Gran, I think on Wednesday, went out way too hard for Sweden, having won the sprints on Monday and paid for it. About halfway point, he just fell away and ended up down in, I think, 14th place or so. So fingers crossed for Sam Smith, who is leading the way at the moment as we come past the first of the checkpoints on this long climb up to the highest point. Here she is, representing the USA, about to catch Silva Kempi of Finland, who set off 30 seconds ahead of the American. Bib number 11, Selina Rossi, the third of the Finns to get started today. She's not going to get inside, I was going to say the top 10, but of course she does. 14 seconds down on Sam's time. Next to come past this point will be Clara Hagen of Canada in bib number 12. So Sam Smith in first place at the 1600 meter point. Alison Mackie now in second, 2.3 seconds down, and Mille Grosbre Andreasen, Wednesday's champion, in third, a good 5 seconds down on the pace that is being set by a revived, we are hoping, a bounced back Sam Smith of the USA. Margot Trilloy of France has Olivia Purinen in her sights, 8th 2 days ago. Just behind Purinen, who was 7th in the 20 kilometer. Long, measured glides. As we head through the stadium now, Hannah's already come through, but here's Mille Andreasen, bib number 2. So Surby of Norway comes through the 3,300 meter point in bib number 1, having set a time of 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Andreasen of Norway may well just cut that in half. She does, around about shaved 5 seconds off that. Now here is Alison Mackie, who she has now about 10 seconds to come through that checkpoint. She rounds the bend into the home straight for the first time. 3.33 kilometers done. Mackie goes into second place, just a second and a half behind Andreasen of Norway, with Norway's Surby in third. We're waiting now to see what Sam Smith can do, and has she maintained that powerful start that we saw from her just a few minutes ago. She'll be coming towards the stadium, probably with Silva Kempi of Finland. '17 is Sofia Pedersen, the third of the Swedes. ninth quickest qualifier on Monday. Ended up down in 11th. Made the semi-finals but didn't go through. Now here come 4 and 5. It's Sam Smith who's now taken the lead. She goes through the first time in the stadium. A good 4.1 seconds up on Andresen of Norway. We are hoping that whatever has held Sam back this week, and we haven't seen her shine the way we did in Planica 12 months ago. We're hoping that that pace she's setting early on today is one that she can maintain.
9 minutes and 1 second. Wow, what a performance by the Americans so far. Third place currently for Alison Mackey. Waiting for the performance by Margot Tiroa. Quite high the gap.
Matsuzawa of Japan gets her race started 15-20 seconds into it. And we're back in the stadium looking at Beatrice Laurent of Italy. She comes through in 5th place, just ahead of Kempi of Finland. Sam Smith now setting the quickest time. Those bits of information will be fed up the track to the Norwegians and the Canadian support team, just to let them know what is going on behind them. Margot Trilloy of France heads around the bend and will be the next to give us a clear indication of how her race is going. She's going to be, I suspect, 10 seconds down on Sam Smith. 8.1 work to do, but in 4th place currently, ahead of Sobi of Norway, who is 8.7 seconds down on Sammy Smith of the USA, our current leader. Here's Alison Mackey of Canada, 3rd, 5 seconds down on Sam Smith at that 3.3 kilometre point. One of 3 to come through the 4.9. Approaching halfway now, still ahead of Sobi of Norway, a little further back from Mila Andresen. And here's bib number 10 of Norway, Christine Hansen. Frustrated with that fall on Monday, cost her certainly a medal. A podium position was anticipated. We see what time Hansen can get as she comes through now. It's not going to be in the top 5. And Sam Smith, we can see, still working hard as the head starts to drop once the fatigue sets in. Are we seeing signs now of Sam just starting to drop back? Just a little indication now that Silva Kempi is matching her. Sam failing to pull away. She comes through now the halfway, approaching halfway, down in 3rd. We are hoping that Sam has the resilience, the mental strength and the natural physical condition today to bounce back from some poor results this week in the classic style. Goes ahead again of Silva Kempi as she just crests the top of this hill. She get a break now, but the head nodding and bobbing is an indication that she's working at max. Here is bib number 2, Mille Andreasen, who has closed time down on bib number 1. Teammate from Norway, Hannah Soerby. As you can see Soerby, she will get a sense of how the gap has closed since the last time she climbed this hill. And bib number 20 is another one of the Norwegians, Bernhardsen. Later starter, we can see Alison Mackey now in the distance in that distinctive Canadian suit. Alison Mackey has taken a medal from these games 2 days ago in the classic longer distance, the 20 kilometre mass start race, brilliantly tactically raced by the Canadian. Was delighted with that 3rd place, and another medal today would really be quite a result for the team here from Canada. This is our current leader though, Mia Andreasen, All the signs looking as if she has paced it particularly well. Alison has a glance up to see where Andreasen is, and will know that she's dropping back a little compared to the leader, Mille Andreasen of Norway. Maki now, 15 minutes into this race. She's got another 12 minutes or so to just cope with the pain, with the lactic acid that will have built up to fairly uncomfortable levels by now. She needs to tolerate the lactic, ski technically, keep her head in the game. Nina Schamberger of the USA from Utah. Another athlete that didn't finish the 20 for some reason on Wednesday. Struggled a little and is hoping for a lot more success today in the freestyle 10K race. This is bib number 10. And our little in-screen Kristin Hansen of Norway. Another fail to finish well, at least in the sprints. Made the final, but crashed out. Don't remember whether anyone else was involved in that crash, but she got through to the final and then ended up in 6th place. Here's Sam Smith now. The work rate is still high. She is still pushing the pace, and the two of them now side by side. Silva Kempi of Finland desperately trying to stay with the American. Sam Smith, one of the stars from Planica Junior World Championships a year ago, where she was clearly a year younger, but nevertheless some great results from Sam. Here's Clara Hegan of Canada in bib number 12. There she is. Best result this week. So far 17th in the 20. So a top 15 would be good. She raced in Minneapolis last year in the World Cup. Jess Diggins' hometown. And in the men's field that year, it was, I think it was Schumacher of the USA who won. Now then, Andreasen set a time of 12:04, and Clara Hegan of Canada really struggling to match that pace that Andreasen set earlier on. 52 seconds down. Now then, two Norwegians working together is never a good sign for the other nations. Andreasen comes through, having completed 2 laps of this 3.3 kilometer course. She's 14 seconds ahead of her teammate, and she has alongside her, or just behind her I should say, in bib number 20, that is Astrid Bernhardsen of Norway. And Bernhardsen, well, she's going to get a good tow. If she can stay with Andreasen of Norway, then her last loop today, if she manages to save just a little bit as she cruises around the middle loop, her last loop today will be much easier. She'll have reserved some of that power, and we may see her featuring in the top 5 or 6 for sure. Here's Coupin of France coming through the halfway point. No hat today. Warm enough out here in Schilpario, in the Bergamo region of the Italian Alps. If you can picture Italy, it's sort of in the middle at the top, not far from where the Olympic cross-country races will be held 12 months from now. 364 days to go before the opening ceremony. The 1-year countdown clock having been started yesterday, and apt that these races are taking place now here in northern Italy. We're looking forward to those races. Sam Smith will be looking forward to the end of this race. I'm sensing that she's tired. She set off with a very, very fast pace. She's not going to match Sowerby, I don't think, coming through now. Let's have a look. Where was she at the halfway point? She was a second or two behind Surby. And coming through now at 6.66 kilometers. She's, yeah, the pace is falling away for Sam Smith. She's now 33 seconds off the pace of the leader and 15 or 16 seconds behind third place, Hannah Surby of Norway. Alison Mackie still in second, just 6 seconds down on Andreasen at this point. Beatrice Laurent now of Italy goes ahead of Sam Smith, pushing Sam down into fifth. And our fears and concerns for Sam and her health, her condition this week seem to have been correct. Now then, Surby of Norway, can she hold off Mila Andreasen, teammate also from Norway, who's closed the gap, the 30-second margin that she set off behind Hannah Surby of Norway just 21 minutes ago. She may well catch Hannah Surby by the time she comes through the finish. If she does, that will be a very strong indication that she may well get her second Junior World Championships gold medal. Bib number 8 is Margot Trilloy, France, looking to improve on 8th, which is her bib number today. The position she finished on Wednesday in the longer distance. Alison Mackie pushing hard now. She's got 10 seconds to come through that timing marker. I think she'll do that to go ahead of the number 2 Norwegian in bib number 1. She does indeed. She's 18 seconds down though on Andreasen of Norway, and that is going to be virtually impossible to close between now and the end of the race. Here she is, Andreasen. She's almost now managed to close the gap completely on Hannah Surby. We're getting a great shot from above. Andreasen manages to stay into that powerful skate 2 technique, despite the fact that Surby, the steepness of this hill now, they both change into skate 1, and Andreasen goes past Surby on the left hand side. I think the course bends around to the right up here, so taking the long way round, graciously, kindly, not forcing Surby, her buddy and teammate, to move out of the way. Has enough power to be able to do that. USA's Girard in bib number 19, approaching the 6.67 marker. Quite a few people now. We can see some pairings now. Surby and Anderson working together in third and fourth, I should say fourth and fifth. Kempe and Smith skiing most of this race together now. Smith has made up 30 seconds on the Finnish athletes and unlikely to lose that now. They almost certainly will cross the line together unless Smith blows up, which isn't impossible given what we've seen. And we're a little sad to see Sam's form this year. The timing of approaching these Junior World Championships not quite working for Sam, and a lot of people struggling with the odd sniffle and bug, which just saps you of strength. She's a fighter though, Sam Smith. But Andreasen of Norway proving to be the best fighter so far today. She moves ahead and pulls way ahead now of Surby of Norway. Surby will have to concede. In the background, in the distance, we can just about make out Alison Mackie of Canada. There she is in bib number 3. She's in second place now. Will want to catch Surby. She can see the Norwegian and will know that she's in second place. The gap at the 6,600 meter point between second and third actually now has gone to Margot Trilloy in bib number 8 of France. Surby of Norway in fourth, 14 seconds ahead of Andreasen and 9 seconds up on Alison Mackie. She will know that. Alison will know that 9 seconds is a good margin, but will also be a little concerned now that Margot Trilloy of France is only 7 seconds behind her, having set off in bib number 8, 2.5 minutes after Alison Mackie came out the start gate. Here we go. Currently, it's Canada in silver medal position, 1 place better than she got on Wednesday in the longer race. Mila Grosper Andreasen, though, way ahead. 6 seconds is not insurmountable, but judging by the body language we saw from Alison, she's really on her limit there. And Andreasen looks super strong coming up that hill just a few minutes ago. Here's bib number 6. It's Beatrice Laurent of Italy, hoping to get a 6th place or better. Well, actually, a 5th place or better would match the 20k result, and 4th would be a personal best from these Junior World Championships. 16 is Schomburger of the USA, who's managed to make up the 30 seconds to bib number 15, who is Tengenlander of Sweden. Swedish athlete didn't finish in the 20 on Wednesday. 10th quickest qualifier, 10th quickest to finish actually in the sprints on Monday. But Wednesday was a poor race for the Swedish athletes. Here comes Sam Smith now. She's been passed by bib number 6 of Italy, Beatrice Laurent. 6, 5 and 4. Laurent 1 whole minute up on the Finnish athlete in bib number 4. Here's Pedersen of Sweden, the 3rd of the Swedes, 9th quickest to qualify in the sprint races at the start of the week, and looking pretty strong. Bib number 12 is Clara Hegan of Canada. And first across the line now in the finish. Andresen of Norway, 41 seconds quicker than teammate Surby, who is sitting in 2nd, but that will change. I think Andresen looking at the moment as if her efforts today are going to produce another gold medal. Here comes Alison Mackie now. She's not going to match the best of the Norwegians, but wonderful to see at this late stage of this race the ability to transfer her body weight so effectively in this last 200 meters as she skis around tight around that bend, maintains the speed and comes out wide. Now into the home straight. Alison Mackie of Canada in 2nd place as it stands. She will not go ahead of the 1st place Norwegian, but can she will definitely get ahead of Hannah Surby of Norway, pushed down currently into 3rd. Andresen and Mackie in 1st and 2nd. That may stay the same. We'll have to wait and see. I think Andresen is clear and safe, but Mackie's going to have to get her breath back and then hold her breath as she sees. Certainly worth waiting for the top 20 starters to finish today. See whether she can improve on her bronze medal from Wednesday in the 20 and take home a silver back to Canada. I suspect via 1 or 2 more World Cups that she will be invited to participate in for Canada and possibly even the World Championships. Next to finish should be Beatrice Laurent with Sam Smith and Silva Kempe. The 3 of them we saw just a moment ago skiing together, and Beatrice Laurent now the big threat to Alison Mackie and that silver medal. She was cruising ahead of Sam Smith and Kempe, and it wouldn't surprise me if that little trio is now broken up. If Beatrice Laurent has managed to, well, here we go, it has indeed. Ignore bib number 42. She isn't one of the athletes I was talking about, though she is another one of the Italians. It's Beatrice Laurent of Italy. What is she going to do? She is not going to push. She's not going to push Alison Mackie out of 2nd place. Can she now grab a medal for Italy? No! Oh, just outside. So Laurent goes down into fourth. Sammy Smith finishes in fifth, but it's a good 1 minute and 23 down on Andreasen.
23 seconds. That's also
So the Kempi of Finland, just outside 2 minutes slower now than the best of the Norwegians. 6 athletes in the finish. Andreasen of Norway currently in first. Alison Mackey with a brilliant second place as it appears at the moment. We're going to have to wait and see. Here's Margot Trilloy of France. What can Margot do now? She has 5 seconds to get ahead of Alison Mackey. That is not going to happen. She will end up going into third, I think. Will she beat? No, she doesn't. Pushes Italy's Beatrice Laurent down into fourth, and a shrug of the shoulders. She knew it would be close. 4 seconds down on third place, currently held by Hannah Serby of Norway. Second on Wednesday, third I should say today. Still in the medals, the Norwegian. Well, I'm now having a look a little further back on the splits just to see who else may be a contender for one of those top 3 positions. Marit Folly of France in bib number 22. We can just see in of Italy, sorry, in bib number 22. We can just see on our screen now she's moving ahead and looking strong. Has cruised past Norway's bib number 20. That is Bernhardsen of Norway. So she's already taken a minute out of one of the top Norwegians. This is looking really good for Marit Folly of Italy. She is currently 12 seconds down at the 6.6 kilometer point on France's Margot Trilloy, who is in third position in the finish. A lot of work to do then if she wants to get a medal here at the 8.2 kilometer point. Marit Folly of Italy in bib number 22 was 29 seconds down on the leader, but only 7 seconds down on Margot Trilloy. She's got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it in. But the Italians helping Marit Folly with all the information and support they can possibly give her. Here's bib number 19, Niamh Gerard of the USA. She was 57 seconds behind is Sam Smith at this point, and Niamh was 107. So 12 seconds gap between the USA's best so far today and Niamh Gerard of the USA. Here comes Marit Folly now in that blue suit. Maintains a high tempo, trying to get those skis to do the work for her. She comes up the last of these long hills. She will know what she has to do to make the podium. It is 7 or more seconds into third place. She's got to get past Norway's Hannah Serby, who is about 5 seconds quicker at this stage. Margot Trilloy, though, in third, Serby in fourth, Trilloy in third at the finish. Now, who is this? This is bib number 23, Anna Endres of Germany. She's just 3 seconds down on Marit Folly of Italy, and looks as if she has certainly paced it well. Almost no one has skied up this section of the course in the last 5 minutes as powerfully as Anna Endres of Germany, the athlete we are seeing now in bib number 23, just a few seconds off the pace of the best of the Italians, who started 30 seconds ahead of her. She will be able to see as she closes the gap now on Annette Coupard of France. who started a whole minute ahead of the surging German now. In bib number 23, it is Anna Endres. She comes past at the top of this hill, past the French athlete Annette Coupard, and knows now she's already made up 60 seconds on the French athlete ahead of her. Well, the best of the Swedes to cross the line so far. Sophia, actually, we haven't had any finishes in, but at this point, coming past 8.2 kilometers, bib number 17, Sophia Pedersen, in 18th position. Bib number 16 is the American athlete Nina Schomburger. And the top 10 places are up for grabs. She might just get inside 8th, and that's actually 9th. That's dead on 2 minutes slower than today's winner. As it stands, Andreasen, Schomburger with 9th place. Sweden's Tanglander down in 12th. Haven't mentioned Anna Milurska of Czechia so far today. She's now been pushed down into 12th by Pedersen and fellow Swede. Tanglander gets down into 14th. Here's Niamh Gerard of the USA. She's got... she's on 28.54 and might just get inside the top 7. She doesn't. Is 8th a possibility for the athlete from the USA? So close. Oh, just outside. In 9th position. She is 2-3 places ahead of Sammy Smith of the USA. The sparkles on the face, a tradition started by the wonderful Jessie Diggins, bringing some joy and fun and pantomime to World Cup racing, and doing that, leading the World Cup standings as it stands. Folly of France, my word, what a brilliant last kilometre she has put in. Goes ahead of Norway's Sowerby. Folly of Italy, I should say, goes into 3rd, 23. We saw Anna Endres of Germany, and Anna Endres pushes Alison Mackey. That must have been a storming last kilometre from the German, paced so well today. Pushes Alison Mackey of Canada down into 3rd place. The position the Canadian ended up in on Wednesday in the 20k classic style mass start race. Germany now sitting in 2nd place. Norway still in 1st. Almost 30 seconds margin between the Norwegian and 2nd place Anna Endres of Germany. Canada down in 3rd, and Marit Folly, who had just finished for Italy. The Italians applauding and enjoying the potential of a medal, having pushed Sowerby of Norway down into 4th. Now in 4th herself, outside the medals, Anna Endres of Germany, the surprise racer in bib number 23, outside the top 20 starters. But Endres paced that so perfectly and looked incredibly strong on the last hill. Coming up to the final crest of this bend here, and made up, well, I think it must have been about 7 seconds between the top of this hill. She can hardly believe it. The last time she got splits, when she was moving slow enough to be able to hear anything from the support team, she was in 4th or 5th. Now she's discovered whatever she did on those skis coming back to the stadium, 50% of that is downhill, 50% is power. Double poling, skate 2 along the flat. Well, she clearly did that well enough to earn herself currently a silver medal in the Junior World Championships. This is her personal best and possibly something she wasn't expecting as she raced out of the start gate just over 30 minutes ago. Andreasen then of Norway setting that quickest time, 27:31. 28 dead is Andreasen. Podium of the USA comes across in 14th place. That is the third best position for the Americans. So 3 Americans inside the top 15. Schumberger of the USA in 16th place. Sammy Smith, the best of the Americans, despite indications of not really being on the best form this week. The Americans, though, they may well be able to put together a pretty formidable team for the relay coming up on Sunday.
And she is the strongest also on the free technique.
So, quick rundown of the first 6 places. As it stands, it's Andreasen of Norway in first, Anna Endres of Germany in second, Alison Mackie, another brilliant medal for her, third place. It was so close, but Anna Endres, I think, made up maybe 10 seconds in the last kilometre and a half to snatch that silver medal. Marit Folli of Italy looked like she might just get a medal. The crowd here just cheering her on as she came through the stadium. Hannah Søby of Norway in 5th, 41 seconds down on teammate Andreasen, and Margot Trilloy of France down in 6th place. I can't see anyone out there now in the field who is going to challenge any of the medal places. Astonishing when I look back to see that Anna Endres was down in 6th place when she came past the last checkpoint at 8.3 kilometers, but in the last 1.7 kilometers she managed to close the gap and come past 4 athletes to put herself into a fabulous 2nd place today. Buchmann of Germany now in bib number 30, coming around the final bend. Her race nearly over. Buchmann was in 22nd place at the top of the hill, 139 behind. 22nd place is going to be improved upon, I think, by a substantial margin. Goes into 17th for the German, finishes in 17th place. Anna Buchmann, another athlete who paced it well in order to finish well and climb the rankings. Number 32 now of, I think that is France. Let's have a look where she was at the last checkpoint. Well, she was in 20th place. Ariane Pinon of France, she was ahead of the German and looks like she's going to cross the line ahead. She is going to be just inside the top 15, pushes Pedersen out of those top 15 places, and a good result for France. She's the 2nd, I think, of the French athletes to finish. Annette Coupard is ahead of her in 9th place, and yeah, Ariane Pinot of France takes the 2nd best result. Actually, no, I completely missed Margot Trilloy, who's in 6th, so Ariane Pinot of France in 15th, the 3rd of the French athletes here in Schilpario. Maria Schwitzer of Italy, in bib number 24. 2:40 down on Andresen. Really stunning time from the Norwegian. 2 Norwegian gold medals, it appears, today. Heggen of Norway taking the gold junior men's class earlier on today. Again, another significant gap between first and second. Not quite 30 seconds, but 26, 27 seconds, I think it was. Today, it is Norway's Andresen, who is 29 seconds up on Germany's Anna Endres and Alison Mackie, currently in third. No one out there in the field looking like they can match Mackie's pace, so the medal's pretty much decided. Stadler of Germany now coming in, not going to get inside the top 20. Certainly not going to match the pace of teammate Anna Endres, who is the surprise medalist here this week in the last of the individual races for these junior women. Germany, though, will start to think they've got a chance in the mixed relay for the juniors on Sunday. Germany producing a bronze medal in the men's field earlier on today with Jakob Moch, younger brother of I've forgotten his first name, but it's the other Moch, the more famous one as it stands at the moment. Big brother who's in the top 10 of the World Cup standings. A little surprised I can't remember, actually. I feel a bit bad about that. I'm going to find out and remind myself who it was. But first of all, I'm going to stick to what's going on the screen. Chechia's Bimanova in bib number 37, just heading towards the finish line now. Top 30 might just be possible. She does. She sneaks in ahead of Hakala of Finland. Here comes bib number 38 for Sweden. This is Kaiser Johansson. And can the Swede manage to squeeze into the top 30 positions here? It's not going to happen, I don't think. She's going to be just outside and goes into 32nd place.
In this moment, we're in the
3:08 down on Andresen of Norway.
3 minutes and 8 seconds behind.
Now let's have a quick look back through the field at the split timings and see if we can get a time on Elspeth Cruikshank of Great Britain. Bib 49 is Annalena Taxa of Austria. Now then, I should be able to get a split time on Taxa. If I look, she at the third of the way around this course was 48 seconds down on our leader today in 32nd place, so has climbed 17 places in her bib ranking order. Has almost managed to close the gap on bib number 48, Shakova of Czechia, who is just up the track ahead of her. And Alina Taxa now working her way up this hill for the last time. She'll be glad about that. The body language starting to look a little bit ragged as she encounters traffic towards the top of this hill, decides to go wide, the long way round, the harder way of doing it, but has no time to wait. Seconds ticking away, valuable positions, which sometimes means valuable support based on FIS points and placings at these Junior World Championships. The Olympics coming up 364 days from now, and some of the athletes, to be fair, one or two of the top athletes, certainly Alison Mackie is a candidate, the two Norwegians possibly, but it is not easy. Certainly not easy to get into the Norwegian Olympic team. I suspect it's probably a little easier to get into the Schilpario choir here in the mountains. If that is the commendable standard that's being set here, we do appreciate it, but looks like the choir needing some training themselves. The last of the bends now for Bachmann of Italy. She comes round and is going to struggle to make it into the top 40. Outside the top half of the field. Actually, she will, looking at that time, she's going to go in 39th. 75 starters today, so not quite top half of the field. 56 now. Laxo of Hungary. Well, you can see the timer there indicating Andreassen's finish time, not the time to beat, coming past this timing marker. Not that we had a late starter start. The Hungarian athlete, bib number 56. Last to start today will be Julia Reis of Brazil, down in, I think it is bib number 75. Just have a quick look. I'm pretty sure all of the athletes now will have started. Everyone out on track or having finished. We've got one athlete not starting from Brazil, bib number 74, Natasha de Lima, but Julia Reis of Brazil is out there in bib number 75, and still, I think, on her second loop, if she has started that loop. Taxa of Austria comes through in 33rd. 306 down on Andreassen. Collapses to the ground and just needs a minute. So we'll give her a minute to recover. We may get an interview with one or two of the leaders before the race has finished. Hopefully we'll get to hear from Andreassen. I'd love to hear from Anna Andres of Germany. She will have a big smile on her face. And Alison Mackie, once again, another medal for Canada in the under-20 junior class. Pretty sure now that this is our top 10 results. Andreasen of Norway, Endres of Germany in second, Mackie of Canada in third, and Italy in fourth, with Marit Folly just outside the podium positions. The hopes of the locals smashed by Anna Endres, who was a later starter, started 30 seconds behind the Italian, just pushing her down into fourth place. Serbi of Norway in fifth, Margot Trilloy of France in sixth, Italy's Beatrice Laurent in seventh, 49 seconds down on the winner. Sammy Smith, one of last year's stars from the USA, down in eighth. Annette Coupard, the second of the French athletes in the top 10, in ninth. And Anja Hutter of Switzerland, the only Swiss athlete to make it today into the top 10 positions. I'm now having a quick look back at the times, just see how Elsbeth Cruikshank is getting on. She had a quick start, moved up, she started bib number 63, and after about 2 kilometers she'd moved into around about 42nd position, which was looking good. As it stands though, she's dropped back a little, bib number 69 in 63rd place at the third of the race completed stage, and she hasn't come through the halfway marker just yet, but bib number 69, she won't be far away. Only 5 or 6 athletes setting off behind Elspeth from Huntley, one of the team that has travelled here with team captain Roy Young. Not sure if that's technically his title here. He's certainly the head coach of the few coaching staff that the British have out here in Schilpario. Roy's son, Andrew Young, racing, as you will be aware, on the World Cup circuit and preparing now for Trondheim. Not sure actually whether that preparation will include Falun, which starts on Wednesday next week, the last of the World Cups before the big event of the year in Trondheim. World Cup 9 in Falun. Andy Young, part of the World Cup team, as is Andy Musgrave, both athletes known well by Roy and of course known by Elspeth, who is racing here today, around about halfway round her race as it stands at the moment. Let's have a quick look and see whether Elspeth has come through the halfway point. Any minute now, I suspect we'll see her, assuming nothing has gone wrong for the young Brit. Well, I would have expected Elspeth to come through this point by now, and I'm not seeing her name appear on my timings, so I'm beginning to wonder whether actually something has gone wrong for our sole British athlete today. Looks like she may have had to pull out for some reason. Let's have a look now and see where we are in the finish. So last to finish is 54 have started. Dominika Lopit of Ukraine is currently in 46th position, having passed at least 8 athletes out on the course. We have a few that have not finished. Joanna Haig of Sweden. Well, wondering why we didn't mention Joanna Haig. She was in bib number 14, 29th on Wednesday. Was the highest seeded Swede in today's racing, starting bib number 14, the under 20 class. Haig, though, not finishing. Purinen of Finland in bib number 7. Also an athlete that I'm getting an indication that she did not finish today's race. Here's Satara Moon of Australia, set off 30 seconds behind Great Britain's Elspeth Cruikshank. Here's Moon. Do we have any sign of Cruikshank out there? We don't. So I think Elspeth sadly has had to pull out. If I get any more information on Elspeth's race, I'll let you know. But sure, I'll hear from the team later on and find out what happened. Right now, we're going to focus a little on Satara Moon of Australia. I saw the Australian boys this morning, really pleased with their result. Some of the later starters, higher bib numbers, but a couple of them punching the air as they crossed the line, realizing that they had improved on their seeded potential finish time. And at the back markers of this race, those little victories really matter. Satara Moon then, with not far to go, as she approaches the top of this last hill. Bib number 70, representing Australia, will be glad to get over and crest this hill and start to work her way back towards the stadium, where today's medalists will be waiting now to fulfill the responsibilities they have with the interviews. Here is bib number 72 of, I think it is Lithuania. Only a handful of athletes left to finish now out on the course. Quickest athletes going off first, the early starters, and the track's starting to feel a little quieter compared to 45 minutes ago. Here's Satara Moon, heads down the hill, a long break from the effort of propelling yourself up the hill, but those corners getting really fast and icy as the week has gone on, so not easy to relax. We can see the Vorlaufers being sent out again to just ski in the tracks and check the corners are all in good shape. They do their job at the end of this race. Seminska of Latvia comes across the line in 61st place, bib number 58. She'll be a little disappointed to lose 3 places in the virtual seeding positions. "61 athletes have come across the line now, and there were 75 on the start list, at least one not racing. 71 is Daphne Vaiku, second youngest in the field today. She is only 15 years of age, this young girl from Greece. Only one other athlete who set off in bib number 72, actually, 30 seconds behind her, is a little younger. We're talking about 20 days younger. Both of them 15-year-olds racing in a tough competition on a demanding course out here in northern Italy. The beautiful little village of Schilpario will be one of the venues that one of the teams will use to prepare in next year for the Olympic Games. Satara Moon, then, of Australia comes in. Let's have a look. Once she sees the time, well, 47th place, given she started number 70, is an exceptional result. A great run for the Australian. Smiles indicating that she's pleased with that.
Welcome, Satara Moon. We've got Australia also represented in this World Championships. And her smile that
Satara Moon of Australia comes in 47th place. Here's the back marker today. Julia Reis of Brazil still has some way to go, and most of that is probably another 4 minutes of climbing to get to the top of this long hill up the valley here in Schilpario. She's closing the gap slowly on bib number 73. Kogia of Greece, who set off 1 minute ahead of her. Teammate Natasha in 74 deciding not to start today. Julia Reis, therefore, the back marker. And at the moment, we'll have a little competition going on in her head. Can she manage, despite the 1 minute gap to the next best athlete, can she manage to close the gap and not be the last to finish today? That would be a little victory for Julia. About 2 kilometers to go now, but looking to me as if it does look as if Kogia of Greece is struggling just a little. Another athlete that's only 15 years of age, a couple of years younger than Julia Reis from Brazil. So you wouldn't be so surprised if the Brazilian manages to catch her before the finish line. Possibly Kogia's first international race away from Greece, though there are a few FIS competitions that go on in that southeastern central European zone. A lot of the races in the summer on brilliant roller ski tracks in northern Greece. Fabulous competitions to use as part of your summer training. The roads closed for the roller ski races that go on. Some of those FIS controlled and certainly worth viewing if you ever hear of them going on if you're out in Greece on holiday. Well, a pretty formidable pace being set now by Julia Reis of Brazil. Easily comes past 15-year-old Kogia of Greece. The last couple of athletes now. One little downhill, well, actually quite a tough, fairly quick downhill. I'm just getting a message from the organisers to let me know that yes, Elsbeth Cruikshank did indeed pull out. We're going to just trust that she's okay and that wasn't a result of the fall that we've seen from one or two people. And both of these athletes one more time need to negotiate that fast right hand bend into the finish. Another little climb to do for Julia Reis of Brazil before she heads towards that final bend. We're going to take a quick look back now at our first three positions. Alison Mackie with another medal here in Schilpario was in second place for a long time, having crossed the line, and hoped to have improved on third place from Wednesday in the 20. But there was a surprise chasing And here she is in bib number 23 from Germany. Anna Endres was around about 8th position when she came through the last timing point, but closed all of those positions down by the time she crossed the line to come across in silver medal, and was stunned. Absolutely amazed to see that she, all that effort, perfect timing and pacing, had produced for Germany a valuable silver medal today, but couldn't quite close the gap. It was enormous for Endres. 29 seconds come the finish, but Mia Andreasen of Norway, bib number 2, cruised past Søby, teammate in bib number 1, and came across the finish line in a time of 27:31, almost a full half minute ahead of bib number 1 and teammate Hannah Søby to take another medal for Norway today. So a gold for the men earlier on and a gold for the junior women in Schilpario. Well, it would be polite of the team that are the, well, effectively known as the Vorlaufers, which means pre-skiers, effectively. Their job usually is to ski the course before the race starts and just make absolutely sure that it's a little skied in and that everything is absolutely perfect. And being sent out now once again just to check post-race almost that everything is fine out there. Any icy patches, they'll do their best just to smooth out again and get them ready for training for the under 23-year-olds this afternoon, who will be racing exactly the same race that we've seen this morning here on this course, the 10-kilometer freestyle time trial. But it would be polite of those Vorlaufers, we'll call them, to just hang back and allow the athlete from Greece, who currently is going to be the last to finish, Kogia, 15-year-old, still out there on the course with another couple of minutes to go before she crosses the line. Well, we'll take an opportunity shortly to catch up with the medalists and hear from the three nations that have once again taken the 3 medals in today's 10-kilometer freestyle time trial. So just bear with us and we'll get those to you in a few minutes. Daphne Vaiku now of Greece, the 15-year-old in what will be for her the highest point of her racing career so far. Just 100 meters or so to go before she can relax. We weren't expecting Daphne to be inside the top 70, but there you go, 69th place. We know that bib number 69, Elspeth Cruikshank of Great Britain, has pulled out. I guess that helps with the result for the Greek athlete. We know that Elspeth would have been considerably quicker, of course, than Daphne, a much more experienced athlete, but for some reason failing to finish today. I think this is Julia Rees of Brazil that we can see. It is indeed bib number 75. We'll be pleased not to finish last today. That honour will go to Kogia of Greece, who is a minute or two now further back. Julia Reese of Brazil making her way towards the final bend and the finish line in about 15 seconds or so, getting encouraged by the supporters out on track here as they cross over to cheer her on into the finish. Only 50 meters to go. Don't fall now, Julia. A little smile as she realizes that would have been a little silly, having negotiated the previous 9.85 kilometers well enough. 12:10 behind Andresen of Norway, and pushes Vaikau of Greece down into 70th position. One more athlete to finish. I think this is her now, Kogia of Greece. Pretty sure Kogia is the last athlete out there. And cameras will tell us otherwise. Kogia finishes in 71st place.
That's the fair play that we love in this World Championships. That's what we like.
Nice to see the Canadians supporting the youngster from Greece.
That shows us the real spirit of the World Championships.
At least three 15-year-olds in this race this morning. And when you consider they are up against one or two 20-year-olds who are already racing on the World Cup circuit. And these guys can be pleased with their performance today.
The podium athletes are waiting for the last athlete.
Ti serve questa qua come beauty, posso coprire? Copro?
Salita sul podio in questo campionato del mondo, Alison Mackey dalla Canada, parte dei risultati.
Alison Mackey, one of the early starters, racing for Canada once again, hoping to improve on Wednesday's 20k bronze medal. The classic style free mass start race that we had in the middle of the week just 2 days ago. Mackey looking strong there, looking strong again today. Came across the line behind today's winner, but in second place for around about 10 minutes. And it was looking as if the Canadian would get a silver medal today, but it wasn't to be, as Anna Endres of Germany paced the race perfectly today and increased the pace in the last loop. Saved something earlier on to go way ahead and looked by far the strongest on that last hill and into the finish. Came across the line, I think it was about 7 seconds up on the Canadian to take a second place, and had no idea at this point that she had secured a medal for Germany, almost brought to tears by one of the stewards who showed her how well she had done, and a big smile, a thumbs up for Germany. But in first place today, Mia Grospa Andreasen set a quick early time today The only person that beat her in the split times was Sammy Smith early on of the USA, but Sammy proving to not have the form that we expect to see from her. Mila Grospe Andreasen, though, all the way around, after that first split, moved ahead of teammate Serbi of Norway in bib number 1 and came across the line a full almost 30 seconds, 29.3 ahead of the German to take another gold medal for Norway here in Schilpario, northern Italy.
Mila, second gold here in Schilpario. Wow, amazing. How do you feel after this race?
Oh, I feel I have no words because my like the first round I was so cooked in my leg, so I have to go on and fight with my head today, and I think positive splits today, so I'm very happy.
You're for the fourth time World Junior Champion. Last season was more complicated for you. Where did you find the energy this season to come back?
Resting and try to train like special and relax more and resting.
Do you hope to be on the World Cup this season in Oslo, maybe?
Yeah, I hope so. So that's my goals to the rest of the season.
Kan du si noe på norsk?
Ja, jeg veldig fornøyd med dagens løp. Jeg var egentlig helt kokt på første runden, så jeg måtte bare fighte med meg selv i dag. Så nei, jeg er utrolig fornøyd.
Tusen takk. Congrats. Anna, you get the silver. What a race, what a comeback. What do you feel? What are your emotions now?
Oh, I have no words. I'm so surprised and so happy. It was so didn't expect it, so I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Did you have a special tactic during the race?
No, I just run and give my best, and yeah, it worked.
Do you think you will have some chances with Germany on Sunday for the relay?
Yeah, we will see. We have a strong team, and yeah, we will see what comes out.
Can you say something in German?
Ja, danke an alle, die mir geholfen haben. Auch mein Trainer Christian, danke für alles.
Thank you very much. Congrats.
Lovely to hear from Anna Endres there. Real surprise for her to take silver today. She had no idea and clearly thrilled once she was shown the results at the finish. Well, the relay is coming up on Sunday and we expect to see Anna Endres there.
One more bronze medal for you.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with it or did you expect more?
I'm really happy with it. I had a really strong race and awesome skis, and I thought I really did a good job of pursuing my race plan, and yeah, I'm really happy.
You started with bib 3 today. It's not easy to start in the front. Mm-hmm. Did you have a special tactic?
I just kept my eyes on the girls in front of me, and as I did my second and third laps and there were other competitors around me, I used them as like benchmarks for how I was doing, and yeah, I think it worked well.
What are your dreams with maybe the Canadian team? It seems that the women team now has quite like a dream team.
Yeah.
What are your goals in the future with Team Canada?
Oh, the sky's the limit, you know. We have lots of really fast women, and I'm so lucky to race and train with them throughout the year. And yeah, big things coming for all of us.
Thank you very much. Congrats.
I'll expect to see Alison Mackey racing in the relay on Sunday, of course. A strong team from Canada this year. Anna Endres for sure, expecting to be racing now for Germany in the relay, and Andreasen of Norway surely will be a contender in that mixed relay coming up in 2 days' time. Well, before that we have the under-23 category tomorrow in this race, men and women, going off 10 o'clock in Schilpario, 9 o'clock here in the UK, and 11 o'clock for the women. And then the relays on Sunday, 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock in the UK. Well, thanks for your company, and we'll look forward to the races coming up tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today.